When Warzone first dropped, it felt like you were actually in a war zone. You had to think tactically. Rotations mattered. Gunfights were intense and survival felt earned, not handed out. There was a grit, realism, and just enough chaos to make it fun. But over the last few years, something shifted. From Ninja Turtle operators to rave-colored skins to literal weed events. Warzone lost its face. And that's what we're diving into today. How Call of Duty Warzone completely lost its identity. Stick around because this goes way deeper than just cosmetics. I'm going to show you how Warzone rewrote its own rules and forgot who it was in the process. When Warzone launched with Modern Warfare in 2020, it felt like a natural extension of the COD universe. Real-world weapons, operators with backstory, a massive open world in Verdansk that actually felt like a war-torn region. This was Call of Duty, but bigger. It didn't try to copy Fortnite, Apex, or anything else. It was its own thing, and it exploded. 100 million players in under a year. But that foundation, boots on the ground, military realism, and modern weapons, that was its identity in 2020. And it didn't take long for that to start cracking. Something changed, and it happened faster than you think. The first major identity shift came with Cold War's integration. Suddenly, the gameplay just didn't feel the same. It was a mess. Weapons behaved differently, time to kill felt completely off. Verdansk, if you remember, turned into 1984 with zero explanation. We just woke up one day and it was 1984. But it wasn't just confusing, it was inconsistent. We had futuristic tracer rounds, fire-breathing shotguns, and arcade-style weapons in what was supposed to be a grounded battle royale. And it wasn't just Cold War or Vanguard, it was the moment that they decided, and they being Activision, Ravensoft, whoever, that realism wasn't cool anymore. And what they replaced it with? We're still trying to figure that out today. But this is when players first started asking, what game am I even playing? Then came Caldera, and the vibe was gone. Gone were the dark alleys and gritty bunkers. Now we're in jungle foliage. We have audio bugs. The visibility was painful and full of planes, and I'm colorblind, so the map was even harder for me. Fast forward to today, and the gameplay itself is still confusing. Ranked Warzone when it works, tactical and slower. Casual, which is like pure chaos, instant TTK, broken movement exploits, and one-shot snipers. It's like the devs are caught between trying to please competitive players and casual players like you and me without actually pleasing any of us. And when gameplay doesn't have a clear identity, nothing else will. But we gotta talk about the elephant in the room. Crossover skins. Seth Rogen, Kevin Smith, Nicki Minaj, even the Terminator. Now, do I love these IPs? Sure. Are the skins fun? Sometimes. I have a Ninja Turtle tattoo. Of course I love Ninja Turtles. But do they belong in a game that's literally still marketed as a tactical shooter? I don't think so. The immersion is gone. Operators used to feel like soldiers, and now they feel like DLC mascots. There was a time that I remember when unlocking Ghost or Price as your operator felt like being part of something bigger. Now, I literally get teabagged by the Terminator while a Kevin Smith skin drops a nuke in multiplayer. Like, how did we even get here? It's like Activision is throwing everything at the wall to keep players engaged, except for one thing, which is called consistency. And you can't build a lasting game if the tone shifts every 5 minutes. Let's rewind. Remember when Warzone had lore? You had Z and Shadow Company, you had Armistice, the nuke event that completely wiped Verdansk, there was a story with the bunkers. Even if it wasn't perfect, there was a story. Now, operators from Black Ops 6 are dropping into maps with no continuity. Zombies show up and then they vanish. Are they there? Are they supposed to be there? We time travel. We jump timelines. We fight fake threats. The entire narrative collapsed into this like weird meta soup that nobody actually cares about anymore. And that disconnect bleeds into the entire game. Warzone doesn't know what it wants to be. See, it started as a gritty, grounded shooter. Then it became a trend-chasing hybrid. Equal parts to Fortnite and Apex, and really just a marketing experiment. Ironically, the gameplay today is actually more tactical than ever. Slower movement we have when they updated with Verdansk, better gun balancing now with the updated Verdansk. Rank play on Verdansk now back and fixed, but guess what? All of that gets buried under these EDM flashy menus, these neon weed smoking celebrity operators, and a rotating door of gimmicks. It's like wearing a suit with clown shoes. Warzone could be the best battle royale ever made if it just chose a direction and committed. Maybe Warzone doesn't need to be like it was in 2020, but if it wants to survive, it has to find its soul again. So I'll ask you, what version of Warzone do you love the most? Let me know in the comments below because I read every one of them. And hey, if you want to keep watching content from me, check this video out right here that I highly recommend. It's called What the F is Happening in Warzone? And as always, if you have the ability, hit the like button, hit subscribe, turn notifications on, and join the Discord in the bottom because you can play with other birds and it's a whole lot of fun to squad up. And I will catch you in the next video.